Nerds, Sages here. So before I begin with the whole spiel on, what I want from a second year of Fire Emblem Heroes well, I do want to talk about a few things. First up, in the description, of course, we do have that contest. 3 $50 gift cards, and, totaling 150, and 3 people will get, the winning cards. But all you have to do is follow the description. There's a link there. Just follow that, and there you go. Enter and have some fun. But before we continue with that, let me just tell you, it doesn't matter what region you are. I will try to have a regional equivalent for you guys, as well as your operating system. So those who keep asking, if I'm from Europe, can I enter? Yes, you can, so do not worry. Just make sure you include your email or your Twitter or what have you, and I will contact you that way. Alright, so, I think it's time to talk about the fun stuff that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to go and try to level up my South, who I have been desperately ignoring for some reason, which is weird. But, anyways, so, a lot of you have been asking me, Sages, what do you want from a second year in Heroes? And, well, there's a lot, honestly. There's a lot of things that I could honestly expect or want in Heroes when it comes to the second year. But I'm just gonna, I'm going to talk honestly. I'm going to tell you the truth about what I want, and admittedly, that may not, exactly line up with some interests of others, but let me just turn off combat animations here real quick, because otherwise, I'm just gonna be seeing South attack over and over again. That's just kind of boring. But anyways, and also, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Oh, man. Anyways, alright, so the simple question is, well, what would you want from a second, what would you want from a second year of Heroes? Well, there are a few things. First up, the one thing that I really want them to change when it comes to a new year, when it comes to the anniversary, when it comes to changing things up, and I think a lot of us can, agree to this, and I know some of you may not, is we do need a change in pattern. More likely, a change in pattern for how content is handled, because for the last probably 4 months, we've had the exact same pattern that's gone. We have new banner. Sometimes it's seasonal. If it's the start of the month, usually it's seasonal. If it's the end of the month, sometimes it's even seasonal then. And then, of course, we have things like Voting Gauntlet. And then after the Voting Gauntlet, there's usually another banner. Typically, these are units that are added to the story. And then after that, we typically have things like Tempest Trials, or another banner, or occasionally, maybe if we're lucky, a GHB. And that is essentially summing up content in Heroes right now is, hey look, here's Tempest Trials, it's come back, hooray! And I like Tempest Trials, but now more than ever, I just kinda, what I do is I pop it open, I set auto battle, and I go watch Netflix. That's simply what I do. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty much my life story right now is, hey look, there's Tempest Trials, but you know what? I could really stand to watch House of Cards again. And, that's pretty much how I've been doing it. So, what I'm trying to say here is we need something new that's a game mode that that I think we can all play, and just have something different to do, because otherwise, we're not going to have much. We're gonna be repeating patterns over and over again. And that's not a fun one. I think we could really stand to get some fresh new game modes going, something fun for everyone to be a part of, and that's just all I really want for the future. It's just something new to do. The only problem, of course, is that since, Heroes is bound to this whole 4-team mechanic, it's going to be kind of hard for them to figure out something to do. At least, I think it might. That doesn't mean they can't do it, though. So, for those who are wondering what my biggest problem is, it's just the pattern that keeps coming up, and it's been happening a lot more often, and that's probably why they haven't been doing a whole, hey look, it's a roadmap, you could see what's going on, hey look at it, isn't it great? So yeah, that's one of the bigger issues out there, is just, simply put, we need a change from the pattern. We need something a little bit more interesting to come along, make us feel a bit better about the game, because there's, I don't mind collecting all these characters, leveling them up, but it really doesn't matter too much if I, can't use them and something new and something exciting. I guess that's the biggest gripe I have, is that, sure, Tempest Trials when it came out was something really, really gripping and quite difficult, and then, you know, eventually they refined it, they brought it down, they gave it a new coat of paint. My battery is low, I should be able to complete this video before then though. Oh crap. Yeah, this is what happens when I leave it on overnight. I was leveling up my Makai, okay? Don't hurt me. But still, that's just something else that they need to fix. The other things that I can think of is, of course, I can easily tell you, oh man, I just want the 5-star pool fix, but that's wishful thinking on my part. That's me going, yeah, you know what would be great if I could, you know, just do this and have that happen, and just be like, yay, it's fixed, but I don't know if that problem's ever going to be fixed. I hate to say that, but I don't know if I could really give up. You know, I could really give hope on that regard when it comes to fixing a pool that I don't think they have much interest in doing because, well, it makes them money, just simply put. But there are a few things that I do want to see in the future when it comes to heroes as a whole, when it comes to units as a whole. I want to see Beast Tribe units. You know, we just recently got a Radiant, you know, a Radiant Dawn banner, which, hey, that's part of a series that features, you know, Lagoos prominently in their series, in their whole game. It's like, oh hey look, there's beast people. So my question is, where be the beast people? Just saying, you know, my fur affinity count is run low on actual I'm kidding, but, you know, we do, it's really odd that they still haven't really kind of given us that. You know, considering there are so many fans of not only Lagoos, but also, well, characters like Keaton, his daughter, you know, God, I can't even fathom what we might not have. But there's been this whole thing where it's like, hey, where's these units? And, you know, IS has just been like, I don't know. I would also like to see some more weapon variety. Some newer, you know, newer weapons that I've seen in a lot of other games, like your Levin swords and things like that. Probably more distant counter weapons, but, you know, some more variety on that whole, you know, front. Because, let's face it, you know, as much fun as these new units are, Micaiah, of course, being insane, I'm glad to finally see Thani. I'm just wondering where we can go from here when it comes to building, you know, newer, wow, not a single skill up, newer advantages to the gameplay. I'm sure that we're going to get power creep eventually, again, not to say that we haven't already, but I'm also expecting the meta to change, because I'm sure everyone can remember when, you know, the Choose Your Legends characters came out, you know, by which I mean, of course, the Brave characters. And one of the biggest characters that was in the forefront there was the one character that probably changed the meta a lot. That, of course, being Brave Lyn, because, well, I mean, yeah, that was our first horse cavalier, and we all knew that it was going to be coming eventually, where, you know, oh no, this bow unit's going to have advantages where she gets access to horse buffs, and wouldn't you know it, that actually happened, and there you go, have fun! And that changed the meta quite a bit for a lot of people. I'm expecting a very big change from a horse-based meta to something maybe more about countering it. We've already seen it in Micaiah. We've already seen it with a few other things, trenches, stuff like that. I'm expecting them to tighten the screws on this a bit more because it's been, I don't know how many months, but it's been quite a few since this all happened, where it was like, hey, you know, here's all these horses, you know, it wouldn't be crazy if they were amazing, and they were, you know, blade tomes were accessible. Then you add characters like Reinhard, and then you added characters like Brave Lyn, and things got way out of control. Way out of control. And of course, it just kept going and going and going. Then of course we got characters like Gunthra. Granted, she's not exactly the best, but hey, at least you're gonna get a win blessing from it, you know, in the future, for all 3 of you who got it. But, yeah, that is essentially what I was getting at, was basically, when it comes to changing things, I'm expecting a lot. We're already starting to see the whole anti-meta take shape, in a sense, with Micaiah and stuff like that, so there's going to be a lot of changes. But the biggest thing I really want is that change of pattern. I just want some variation, some new things, because I'm just going to say this right now. Year 2, IS anniversary, you need to make some actual strides to make and produce new content. As much as I really love the Warriors maps, and while they're going away in 9 hours, I'm just going to say this real quick, okay? We do need something other than a voting gauntlet every, half a month, and a Tempest trial every half month afterwards. So, just saying. And maybe sprinkle in something new, occasionally. Mostly because a lot of other mobile games at the market right now that are big, they change it up every, month or so. So they have a different event, a different style of event. It might be the same sort of thing, but adding a new coat of paint is always something that's nice and something that would be exciting. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to prepare for Tempest Trial by queuing up a lot of things in my Netflix queue, so I'm going to just see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening, and do tell me if you agree with me in the comments below. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to continue leveling up south, mostly because of this. Yep.